In this video, I'll be explaining how to build the enclosure for the Cancer Cup, what uniques to inherit, what decks you should run, and a couple of good enclosure Umas to run for the CM. Two of them is the unique inherit, Let Some Palm Iron and Redshift, and the other is Straightaway Spurt. Straightaway Spurt is the best acceleration skill for enclosure for the CM because it activates on the straight on the last spurt right about on this area. As for the deck itself, if you're not running Narita Taishin, then definitely run the Speed Narita Taishin card because it has a lot of enclosure skills. Of course, run Kitasan Black because it's a good speed card in general and has Professor of Curvature. You can also run another two Flex Width or Speed card if you feel, depending on which stat you want to achieve. The options are like your SRMB like Sweep Tosho, Asian Flash, or you can also borrow SSR MLBs such as Pico or Bakushin. Now, as for the power cards, Hishi Amazon is definitely a fit in your deck if you're not running Narita Taishin because it gives the straightaway spurt hints and it has a bunch of other good enclosure skills as well. On top of that, you can also run Daitaku Helios because Daitaku Helios has a lot of good hints for the maul distance and the middle-like skills. As for the other option for the power card, you can also run Ogre Cap just because it's a really good power card and it also has superior speed, although I think you already have too much acceleration skill with straightaway spurt and the 2 inherits, so it's not really a must-take skill. You can also run Yaino Muteki as another Burrow just because it has a lot of middle-like skills to help with the positioning. Now, as for the Umas that I recommend, first of all, of course, it's Narita Taishin because Narita Taishin has a decent unique for increasing speed and it also has the best acceleration skill for the CM, which is the gold version of Straightaway Spurt, which is Encroaching Shadow. However, Narita Taishin has a really bad stats growth with 10% on speed and 0% on power. And on top of that, Narita Taishin has a really hard career to train on. It also has Mal-D on her aptitude, so you definitely need around 7-star Mal Sparks to make this to A. As for the skill priorities, focus on the acceleration skill like Encroaching Shadow and the inherit, which is Let's Pump Some Iron and Redshift, followed by the green skills for speeds and middle light corner and speed skills in general. The speed skill for enclosure is actually not much, it's just the straightaways, the corner, and masterful gambit. As for the stats, it's pretty much straightforward: 1200 on speed, 637 on stamina, 1000 on power, 340 on guts, 400 on width, and focus on getting S-Mal on the aptitude. Another free-to-play option is Gold Ship. By now we already know Gold Ship is a pretty good Uma. It has been run so far in the both previous CM. It has a decent unique anchors away. However, for the CM, actually Gold Ship has a pretty bad stat growth because it has 0% on speed, so you definitely want to run 4 speed card to actually hit the speed cap with Gold Ship. It also has an even worse Mal aptitude than Narita Taishin, which is C, so you need 10-star Mal Spark to get it to A. As for the skill priority, it's pretty much the same as Narita Taishin. Focus on the acceleration skill and green skills followed by the speed skills. Gold Ship doesn't have innate straightaway spurt, so you definitely need to run Hishi Amazon on your deck, or you need to parent farm straightaway spurt on your parents. Another option for the enclosure is Hishi Amazon, but I don't really recommend her because her unique is a little bit hard to proc. If we take a look at the activation condition of her unique, it's basically on the final straight, you need to be above the 4th position, and you need to be overtaking an Uma, and you need to be on the outer side of the fence. So if you're overtaking an Uma but you're on the inner side of the fence, then this skill doesn't activate regardless. So there's a little bit more RNG in activating her unique. However, to cover up for that, Hishi Amazon has 20% boost on power. Hishi Amazon also has 2 good innate skill, which is Enclosure Corners and Sturm and Drang, which is the gold version of the Masterful Gambit, which is just more speed skill. As for the skill priority, it's pretty much the same as Gold Ship and Narita Taishin, and you definitely need to get Straightaway Spurt. The last option for the enclosures that I recommend is Mayano, the Bright version. Mayano's unique has 2 versions. The first part is for the front and the Pace Chaser, which we will not be utilizing, and the other one which is for late surgery and enclosure, which we will use. Because the activation condition for the second part of her unique is that if passing towards the back, meaning that she's on the 5th until the 7th position and she's doing an overtake on the final corner, then she get a massive acceleration, which is a little bit of a gambling acceleration skill where you want the overtake to happen a little bit late so the acceleration carry over to the last spurt. Mayano doesn't really have a good stat growth on her stat, it's 10% on speed, so you definitely want to run more speed and power cards for her deck. And she also has a D on her Mal aptitude, so definitely you need 7-star on the parent Mal. She also has a B aptitude for the enclosures, so you need at least 1 star for the enclosure spark to make this at least to A. As for the skill priority, it's pretty much the same as all the other Umas, and definitely grab straightaway spurt as well. There are also a couple of other options, like you can force, for example, the Pace Chaser to be the enclosure as well, such as running Ogre or Marsensky as an encloser. But that definitely require more work because you need to farm for the encloser sparks, and I don't really recommend that. That's it for this video. There's not really much for the encloser style